greatness isn't I woke up, I saw it on the video game, I saw it on YouTube, TikTok. I'm going to school today, I'm going to be great. Because some strange reason, these young boys think that success is in their imagination and it's not with the action of what's in their imagination anymore. I can recall my imagination taking me to different places, but it was from a humble beginning.
Correct.
Pulling tobacco, I mean, or like you're saying, proud moment from that to where you are. What's going through Torry Holt's mind while he's pulling tobacco?
That I'm getting out of this town. I'm getting out of this thing. I'm going for my dreams. This is just my way to that. And pulling tobacco toughen my fabric, yo.
And welcome everybody back to another exciting edition of Up on Game Presents Conversations with a Legend. And we do continue the party. The party is continuing on. We got my man, Big Play, Torry Holt in the building. What it do?
What up, man? How are you, bro? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Obviously, Torry Holt is a tremendous receiver. He played at NC State. Played for the greatest show on turf with the St. Louis Rams. Should be in the Hall of Fame. It's taking a little while, too long, but let's hope we get there soon and get that done, knocked out. Tremendous career, but Conversations with a Legend for me is the opportunity to talk to the greats of the game, where we're at in society and culture and life. We're not fans anymore, and we don't look back on our pioneers. We don't look back on the history of what dudes have done. So I created this series not only to educate people on who you guys are and who we are and what our voices sound like and what we've been through, but ultimately to also inspire and motivate guys and challenge them to take a look at themselves in terms of 20 years from now, 15 years from now, what that looks like. And anytime we can get a guy that has, which it's been so many great personalities and guys that have come on, but to get you on, Torry Holt, being someone that's my era. Like you're a little bit older than me, but not so much older where it was like, okay, I'm inspired what I saw him do in college. Here I come in college. Now I'm inspired by what he's doing in the pros. Here I come to the pros. And we had time together and at the pro level. What is Torry Holt up to these days? I know you got a nonprofit with Terrence, your brother. But what are you guys? Yeah. Is that the main thing you guys are up to business wise, philanthropic?
Well, for one, man, I'm thankful to be here and blessed to have my health to be able to do what I'm about to reel off to you that we're involved in, LaVar, for sure. And you mentioned, platform and having the platform of the National Football League and college sports and Pop One and all that, man, it certainly got me to this point where I am now. So, but we are, Hope Brothers is into, you mentioned the philanthropy piece, Hope Brothers Foundation that supports young kids with a parent or guardian that's battling cancer. We lost our mom to cancer in 1996 to lymphoma. So we vowed to do something in honor of her name, and we've done that now. We've been servicing the community for 21 years, yo. Last year we celebrated our 20th. So excited, thank you. Yeah, excited to be doing that and helping young kids and educating parents and families and kids about cancer and better ways to cope with it and deal with it and be better from it. So really excited about that, Hope Brothers Foundation, for sure, my brother and I, Terrence. We also have Hope Brothers Construction, where we're helping build the infrastructure that's happening here in North Carolina, man. It's robust right now in construction and development, and we are thankful and fortunate to be in that space. We've been doing that now for 10 years, and it's a challenging business, challenging space to be in. I thought playing in the National Football League, you had to have some balls and some toughness and some grit and a work ethic. Running your own company and companies is just as challenging. And those experiences that I got from sport and being on teams, and you mentioned you and I we played against each other. We was on the Pro Bowl together. We know what it's like to be a team environment and everybody, handling their responsibilities. You certainly learn that in business. I'm also a coordinator in the Southeast region for the NFL Legends community, which gives me and my brothers an opportunity to serve other brothers like yourself and others, as well as our current players, let them know that they have a place beyond the game once they retire, and that they can transition off of the field and be just as good as they were on the field. LaVar, when we transition off, we need help and support from others. So our NFL Brotherhood, our Legends community provides that for our former and current players. So I'm happy to be serving in that role, and again serving our brothers. And then I work with SiriusXM talking football, man. That's been cool. And myself and Kirk Morrison, we have a show every
okay,
week.
yeah, Big Kirk.
Rams House. Yeah, Big
Indeed.
Kirk.
Yeah,
Kirk does an
absolutely.
outstanding job.
LB world, you did?
Yeah. I saw the smile on your face. But no, Kirk's fantastic. So doing some radio. So those are a few of the things that I'm doing now, man. And then, and I'm a father too. So, that's nonstop. As you know, man, that's every single day. So I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, friend, and, and all those good things. So that's what Torry Holt is up to nowadays.
All right. I love that. So as we talk, people will see you use your hands. All right.
Yeah.
And you never drop the ball.
That's right.
And we're going to touch into this because I got mine, right? I got the pinky, right? I got it. I got both of them. That they out of there, right? Give me the best story connected to how your fingers got to where they are, right? Is it just pure, just the way you was grabbing and squeezing the ball? Was you stubbing it? Like, were you spraining them? How did you get to the point of where yours is turning, like doing tricks the way that they doing on your hands, player?
Right. If I go back to the history of my hand, it started in college. I probably dislocated every one of my fingers when I was in college, at least twice, 2 or 3 times, maybe. The reputation, my health report when I was coming out of school, LaVar, you know how strenuous that health report is at combines, was, hey, this guy has bad fingers. And folks were not understanding how I was catching the football because of my hands were so just susceptible to dislocation and sprain. That's one of the knocks. It was one of the knocks on my health history. But what I used to do to combat that is I used to use the putty a lot, and I still have my putty now that I use. I did fingertip push-ups a lot. I caught the ball a lot to get my hands used to the velocity of a ball, catching the ball out of a jug machines, or catching John Elway or Dan Marino or Kurt Warner or Brett Favre's balls, or even Mike Vick. You got to have some strong ass hands. So I did all of those things to try to strengthen my hands so I could sustain and play. But how it started, this hand here, man, 2005, we played Pittsburgh Steelers. 2005 was 6. Remember, being a Thursday night game, riled up in St. Louis. I mean, it was charged up in St. Louis. And Marshall's running like 28, 29 toss or whatever, some easy 29 toss. And here I am on the perimeter blocking, start blocking. I got him too, LaVar. I got him right where I need him. Marshall's going to make a cut off of how I have him positioned blocked. And he went to get away. Deshaun Townsend went to get away, and my finger got caught in the jersey. Yo. And it popped out. I popped it back in, ran over to the sideline, taped it back up, went back out and played. So I just kept playing with the injury, and then over time in practice it would pop out, pop it back in, and then the ligaments just started to tear and stretching out. So now I have no ligaments, and now it's a natural curve to my left foot, which is something that I have to deal with. It's still functional.
Right.
It's just
stretched out.
It's just stressed out. It's just stretched out. Came from the game, yo. So that's how that's happened. That's the story behind the hand.
All right. Now here's the next question. If you had to have that finger 10 times out of 10 times to have the career that you did, are you taking the finger or do you want the straight finger?
No, I'm taking the finger. That's what it is.
I'm taking the finger.
That's what people say.
I'm taking the finger.
I'm taking the finger, yo. Was for one. That was kind of the era in which I was ushered into the National Football League. Cats played, yo. We watched Jack Youngblood and them play with broke legs. Ronnie Lott and them cut fingers off. What?
Indeed.
That's what you play the game. We tough boys, right?
Yeah.
We alphas. We play through pain.
All right. So I don't like talking sports too much, but let's take it there. Today's NFL, what type of success would Torry Holt be able to have? And is it fair in some regards to basically say it's hard to compare a receiver or a certain type of position, especially receiver, to receivers from your era or before, in terms of the amount of success that they're enjoying, the amount of, publicity and just exposure. I mean, you'd have to assume that was born from you, from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I appreciate the way our game and what it is now. I mean, this is the rules and the laws and the way it is for these guys. This is what they're coming up under, and they're making the most of it. Especially with all the social media and the content and everything that's being created daily. I mean, this is what these guys are into. Their opportunities are far grander than what it was when I first came into the National Football League. But the game is still football. So I would have been able to play in this era. I would have been able to play in our era. I would have been able to play in Jim Brown's era. I would have been able to play in any era of football for the simple fact is I love the game and I had the skill sets to play the game and the mindset and the heart and the toughness to do it. And that's just part of sports. Change is part of sports. And I think our young men, if you look at our receivers, like Devontae Adams, for instance, I think he could play in any era. Cooper Kupp, I think he can play in any era. I mean, there's a number of wide receivers, linebackers, centers, quarterbacks, etc., that's playing nowadays, though the rules are different, looser, favorable for offense. I still think some of those guys can play in any era of football. Now, you asked the question, how would I do in this era?
Mm-hmm.
I would eat LaVar.
Yeah.
Just as I did in the era in which I played. And I would eat even more, I think, in this era.
Because they can't touch y'all that much no more.
You can't touch me. You can't touch me. So
and they had to deal with that anyway. Right.
You got to deal with that anyway, right? Now you're giving me free access to you. You're giving me free access to you, and you squared up one-on-one. I got any break that I want. I got to go. And LaVar, you hell of an athlete, great player. But I got to go with me and winning that.
In this era, I got to get my hands on you.
It's, at least, man, look, when we was playing against the Patriots, y'all, and guys like yourself, too.
Yeah,
Willie McGinnis and them would maul you.
We got to mush you down
to the ground.
Yeah, got to, and that's how you played cover 2.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like you made sure you mushed that inside that slot closer to the 1. I want him close to the 1. I want my safety to be able to get to both of y'all, not have to, be spread out. So. Correct. But you can't even touch guys anymore,
So that's a lot of strain. That is a lot of stress and strain on defenses.
Yes.
Linebackers, corners, safeties alike. So no, I would have certainly had a very productive career in this era of football.
All right. So and I'll continue to reference The Greatest Show on Turf because it's one of the most distinguished groups and nicknames for a group of guys, a unit in the history of the game. And just to know, like, okay, you say Torry Holt, you say Marshall Faulk, you say Kurt Warner, you say Isaac Bruce, and everybody's like, yep, I got that. But because it was the greatest show on turf, people knew it extended to Ricky Prohl. It extended to Oz Hakeem. Like, it extended to guys that it was beyond just the core group that formed the Voltron, so to speak.
Right.
I talk about branding and NIL and where that's at now. And I talk to young kids all the time. I talk to college guys, even pro guys. Knowing that you guys were able to brand yourselves, like running down the field, like all this stuff that Cheetah do and all that stuff, y'all was doing that.
Yeah.
Y'all was slapping high fives, going down the field. Y'all were doing things that was so track and field mind-blowing on the football field. Like they talk about what Kansas City was doing in the last couple years. And the team we always come back to is the greatest show on turf. If you had social media, if y'all had what was going on right now. If you had NIL rights, how would y'all be handling? How would Torry Holt handle his business as it applied to his name, image, and likeness?
Yeah, I mean, I would hold it, sacred and protect it as best I can, to capitalize as much as I can, LaVar, certainly. And then when you're doing it with a group of brothers, there's certainly got to be conversation because everybody wants to win. Everybody wants their part. And I think it's enough to go around. It's just that lucrative now in social media and just business, period. And then having that brand of a name and that grand of a name, there's just going to be, and it is now. I mean, it's just plethora of opportunities. Yeah, it's just plethora of opportunities to maximize, your earning power. So that's how I would handle it. I would make sure that I have and I do this now. Try to make sure that I have a really good team around me that's giving me the proper information that I need to make when I go out and make business deals on behalf of my brand, on behalf of the name. Certainly. But yeah, man. And then I would also be, I wouldn't be in such a rush to do business with everybody because I don't have to.
Okay. Because you don't have to.
I don't have to, right?
Indeed.
So I would certainly pick and choose who I want to do business with and do business with folks that want to do business with you. So that's the way I try to handle myself now. And certainly if we had this greatest show on turf business or catalog or merchandise or whatnot, that's how we would be. That's how I would encourage us to handle it if that was the case.
Man, well, I sure hope y'all do it.
Yeah. No, you give me something to think about. You give me something to think about.
I sure hope y'all do it. Let me ask you this. So knowing how high profile you were, I mean, I can't even imagine. We didn't win at all when I was in the league. And it was still like crazy attention and being popular. I can't even imagine what that was like for you guys. Do you have a story of any kind that connects, like, just, I know you come from a small town. What was it like? Was there a moment in time that led you to the places that you saw when you became a St. Louis Ram? Was there a moment that defined, like, I'm Torry Holt, I'm Big Play Holt, like, this is my life, this is what it's going to be, and this is how I'm going to get it, and this is why I'm going to get it? Do you have a defined moment? Do you have a vivid memory of just a mindset or an epiphany, an illuminating moment of sort that took place for you?
Yeah, I would say, man, it happened for me when I really got the confidence that I could really explode in the National Football League. And then whatever opportunities off of that would be in the palm of my hand was probably my last game of the season. We was playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, we didn't win this game, but it was a game where Kurt played and he had so many records that he could break, and he broke them. Marshall had records that game that they could break. He broke them. I think Isaac had something that he could break that game. He broke them. It was crazy. Everybody was eating. So they do their thing, and by the third quarter, because we had already had playoffs and stuff locked up, by third quarter or so, they were on the sideline. Well, it was my time then. I was 6 overall, drafted 6 overall. Typically, when you drafted 6 overall, you go to a squad, you are the guy. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the guy. I was the guy, but I wasn't the guy. You get what I'm saying? Though I was drafted 6 overall. Those guys, those future Hall of Famers was on the sideline. It was my time. And me and Joe Germain, we cooked. We didn't win, but every series that we were on the field, I think I ended that game like 9 catches, 100 plus, 30-something plus our yards, 2 touchdowns, something crazy. I was balling. Right then, I said, I got this. Because if I can play like this with those 3 on the sideline, and then when those 3 come back onto the field, they're gonna have problems. Teams are gonna have problems. So for me, that's when it dawned on me that I had the potential to take this thing to a whole nother level. And from that point on, went into the playoffs, had great playoffs, good Super Bowl run, ended up setting the Super Bowl rookie record ever in the history of the game. And I think it may still stand today. From that point on, LaVar, my career just really took off. Yeah.
That's dope, man. So, and coming up, because the uniqueness of your situation is that you had a sibling that was accomplishing at a high level as well. What was that like coming up with someone who had the same type of talent and ability to make it to the college level, to make it to the pro level? What was that like? I mean, what was the mindset of, how did you guys treat it? How'd you treat each other in that situation?
It was awesome, yo, and we treated each other with respect and love, because we were brothers. And my mom and dad didn't have it any other way. So we could fight each other, but it couldn't go too far. Our mom nipped that in the bud right away. So, and then there was also the talks of respecting and cheering one another on as they're succeeding.
Who was more successful early on?
Between my brother and I?
Yeah.
I was. I set the tone. I set the tempo for, well, not really I. My uncles really set the tempo for, and my aunties too, really set the tempo for what athleticism was, and the pinnacle of athleticism was in our family. Terrence and I came along, as well as my sister, who was a cheerleader.
Terrence would be like at least 5 years or so.
He's 4 years younger. He's 4 years younger than me.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So he's 4 years younger than I.
Yeah,
so
right.
So I set the tone, and he saw what it took and how it was supposed to be done, along with his skills and his competitive nature and the toughness that he brought to the sport. So no, we cheered each other on, man. We competed against each other. We fought each other, but it didn't go no further than that. We cheered each other on more so than we fought each other. But that was how we was raised. And even still to this day, he and I being business partners, he's such a great business partner. He's taught me so much. He's younger than me. He's younger than I am, but he's taught me so much about being a businessman, just as I taught him how to be good in athletics.
I always talk about how if I asked you, what would you do knowing how money would change things once you made money? What advice would you give yourself now? I would say, in asking you that, how did that apply to you and your brother? Like, y'all both went to the league. So it's like double the, I'm sure, double the, can you help? I need help, or this is the next best thing. You just mentioned not doing business with everybody. I mean, the intensity of it has to be way more than just a singular, I'm the singular one that made it to the league. It was like y'all both made it in.
Yeah. No. I mean, and it comes with its challenges, but and how we dealt with it, particularly pertaining to family, we did both. We gave and we didn't give. And still to this day, I give and sometimes I don't give. So I know how to say no. And I learned how to do that very early. I will say I had good mentors, good advisors, folks that was helping me. The university was really good about assisting me in life after college and what it would take to be, to be a pro. Kevin Warren, who's now the commissioner of Pac-10, is that right? Pac-12, I'm sorry. Commissioner was our player development guy when we first came into the National Football League. So he taught us things about etiquette, finances, and whatnot. So I had the proper tutelage that I needed to be able to have the confidence, LaVar, to say no to the people that you love, or the people that helped you along the way. Because my thing was, if I keep giving you 20, 30, 40 years, you and I, we ain't gonna have nothing. We both gonna be broke. We ain't gonna be no good to either one of us. So respect that mind frame, respect my thoughts around that. And fortunately, my family did. And my family too they all were hardworking people. They got out, they worked. They never missed a day of work. They got out and worked. So it wasn't people that was just sitting around
with
looking
the
for
handout.
with a
Right.
handout.
Yeah.
But there was times where you had to help a family member, and I did that. There was times where a family member wanted to help, and I did not do that. So I learned how to do both. I learned the balance of both, and it's helped me. Still, I'm 45 years old, and it's helped me up to this point. Still, I can recall on my hands how many arguments that I've had with my family members over some money. I just didn't allow it to get there.
I know that's right. Proudest moment. And it doesn't
My kids.
have to be sports related. Just
My kids.
What is your kids?
My kids. I have 3. My son's 20. My daughter's 18. My youngest daughter's 17. My kids were. That was certainly the pinnacle. Winning the Super Bowl is right. It's there as well.
Yeah.
Representing my hometown, representing the state of North Carolina is also right up there. I mean, those are small town board at Port Tobacco, now impacting the state, the community in so many ways.
Say that again, man. Say that again. Small town kid pulling tobacco should be getting that call at some point soon. I mean, that's a proud moment, but you just shot it. Give me something. Give me more of that. I mean, and that's a Carolina thing. Is obviously the tobacco deal. Give me a little bit more on that, man. Like I need people to understand that greatness isn't in a video game.
Right. Correct.
Greatness isn't I woke up, I saw it on the video game, I saw it on YouTube, TikTok. I'm going to school today, I'm going to be great. Because some strange reason, these young boys think that success is in their imagination and it's not with the action of what's in their imagination anymore. I can recall my imagination taking me to different places, but it was from a humble beginning.
Correct.
Pulling tobacco, I mean, or like you're saying, proud moment from that to where you are. What's going through Torry Holt's mind while he's pulling tobacco?
That I'm getting out of this town. I'm getting out of this thing. I'm going for my dreams. This is just my way to that. And pulling tobacco toughened my fabric, yo. It humbled me because I was working for someone else and providing goods for their people only to make $5 an hour. But I was getting strong hands. I was getting strong forearms. I was developing a work ethic. I was developing a drive. I was developing a passion. I was visualizing my goals and my dreams beyond the tobacco field, which I knew would propel me to what it was that I wanted to get to. I just had to go through it. Having the wherewithal and the mindset at a young age to endure that kind of pain, to endure some of that, to have the humility to go and pull someone else's tobacco, is what I'm most proud of, man. And for me to get a pair of cleats, I had to go pull tobacco. For me to have some school clothes, during the school year, I had to play football on Friday nights and get up the next morning, my cousin Wayman and I, and went and start the store up at Wendy's at the truck stop off of the highway, off of 85. This is after a football game that I've probably played the entire game, he and my cousin and I. But I got to get up at 5 o'clock to be ready to open the store up at 6 because we got customers coming in. And he and I are opening the store and getting the store operating and running while everybody else make their way in. It was those kind of moments, man, that's gotten me to where I am now, and what makes me humble, have a level of humility, empathy for people and things around me, and respect for what I do have and what others have and what others are doing.
Is that your legacy? What's Torry Holt's legacy? What you want today? They burying you, and cats is gonna come talk about you. What will have you smiling to hear them say?
That he was consistent, that he was passionate, that he was versatile in a lot of things. It wasn't just sports. He was versatile in a lot of things. Cared about his friends, cared about his family, and love athletics. All kinds of athletics. Football, basketball, golf, soccer, hockey, whatever the case may be. That's and then lastly, obviously, what I've been able to create, my brother and I have been able to create off of the football field, going from the playing fields and having success, great deal of success, potential Hall of Fame success, to transitioning off the football field and running a business that's had success over 10 years. That's and then my wife and my kids, man. That's my legacy, LaVar.
Dope.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else to add?
Yeah. If you want to learn more about Holt Brothers Foundation, go to HoltBrothersFoundation.org. If you want to learn more about Holt Brothers Foundation, we support young kids with a parent or guardian is battling cancer. Go to HoltBrothersFoundation.org. We are welcoming donations, and we're doing positive things with our young youth.
Love it. Give me the radio show. Give us the info on the radio show. We'll put the link up and everything.
Okay, cool. You can catch myself and Kirk Morrison every Wednesday on Sirius XM NFL Radio channel 88, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Talking all things Rams. It's called Rams House.
Man, it's Torry Holt, y'all. Big play. If you ain't know.
Come on, LaVar.
I just got to make sure that y'all understand when I tell y'all the things that I'm telling y'all. When I bring y'all the legends, you need to listen. This one right here, this guy right here is a guy. Torry Holt's a guy. Always has been a guy, and always have been somebody that I've had so much admiration and respect for, man. So make sure y'all check him out on his radio show on Wednesday. Make sure you check out the Holt Brothers Foundation. Make sure you check it all out. We'll make sure we post the links up and put it out there. This has been another exciting episode of Up On Game Presents Conversations with a Legend. That's Torry Holt. I'm LaVar Arrington. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell a friend about it. Check for it on Up On Game Presents on iHeartMedia feeds, all the things like that. Fox Sports Radio. Check us out. All right, we'll be back next week. It's a holiday, so maybe I'm going to give y'all a best of. But I'll tell you what a holiday gift to give y'all Torry Holt. So we're going to shut it off right here. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Check y'all out.
Peace.